What's up, party people? It's your boy, Leroy McKenzie Jr. in the lab. Y'all know what the deal is. It goes down in the lab. As y'all can see, I got my I got my O's gear on today. Ain't no baseball yet this season, but I'm repping my city. Y'all know what it is. Be more in the house. Repping my city, the Orioles fan for life. Always have been, always will be a Baltimore Orioles fan. Even with a shortened season, whenever that decides to come up. But anyway, we're here today on the lab in the lab, talking about swag week. Y'all know what it is. We're dealing with how to be swagged out this week. We talked about swag, having swag with your media content, having swag with your press content, and today we're going to be talking about having swag or swagging out your presentation content. So how do you swag out your presentation and your presentation content? So what do you need to do? What are those key things that you need to do? And that's what I'm here to talk about today, to give you today. Just some of those things that you can do, that you need to do, that you should consider doing in order to be able to make you, your business, your brand, your presentation kind of come off as genuine, as crisp, clear, as professional as possible. So we're going to talk about those things today to be able to get you prepared for my speakers, for my authors, anyone that is doing a presentation, even for a supervisor manager that has to do a presentation to whether it's their employees, whether you have to do it in a business setting, any of those things that where you have to do a presentation. This is for you because we want you to be able to put your best foot forward. We want you to have those elements, those keys, those success things that you need in order to bet those ingredients that you need in order to be able to have a successful presentation. So I'm gonna give you these couple of things that you need to include or that you need to consider, think about for your presentation. The first thing you want to have is you want to make sure that your presentation is relatable, of course. You want your audience to be able to relate to what it is that you're talking about. So you want to make sure that you have the right audience for what you're presenting. So you want to make sure that the topic, you understand the topic that you're presenting, you want to understand the information that you're presenting, and then you also want to ensure that that what you're giving to the audience is are those things that the audience can use to be able to make them better. The second thing is you want it to be engaging. You want the audience to be engaged in what it is that you're saying. You want them to be engaged in just the information that you're giving to them, because the more engaged they are, the more relatable that it is, the more transparent that you are, the more they're able to kind of digest and actually gain a better understanding of the information that you're giving it to them. So the second thing is engaging. The third thing is actually actionable. You want to give them something that makes them take action. What is the take action point for the audience that you're going to be talking to once the presentation is done? What do you want them to do next? What's their next step? Now that you've given them the knowledge, the information, and the resources, what is it that you want them to do with it? I'm going to say that again. Once you've given the presentation, once you've given them the knowledge, the information, and the resources, what is it that you want them to do with it? It does no one any good to go to a workshop, to go to a conference, to go to any kind of event where there's presenters and the information that's given to you there's nothing for you to do with it. One, you just got a bunch of information that you can't do anything with, or two, that they just take and the audience or your target market does nothing with it. You want them, after they come from your presentation, after they've gone through your presentation, to say, wow, these are my next steps. You've given them instructions on what they are to take action on or through or with next. So that's what that actionable steps are. That's the third thing that you want to do. And the next thing that you want to make sure is that, and this is prior to the presentation is you actually want to do a run through. You want to go through your information. You want to make sure that the PowerPoint, if you're using a PowerPoint presentation, which most of you probably are, you're using a PowerPoint presentation. You want to go through the PowerPoint presentation, making sure that it's in the order that you want it in. You want to make sure that all of your, all of the information that you have is there that you need to include on there. And I'll have a couple of things that I'm going to put with this video as well. But you want to make sure that you have all of that stuff together for your presentation, in addition to going over the information that you're going to be presenting. You want to make sure that you're knowledgeable about the information and you're presenting it in such a way that people come away understanding that, wow, or saying, wow, this person knows what they're saying, knows what they're talking about, and has a solid grasp of the information that they're presenting, and that they can consider you to be an expert on what it is, the topic that you're talking about. So you definitely want to do a run through. You want to do a run through of the information that you have, and then the last thing is you want to make it thorough. You want to make sure that you hit all of the points that you need to hit in your presentation. That's why it's important that you do the run through, or that you do a run through of the information, because you want to make sure that it has a nice flow to it, that it hits all of the major points that you need to hit, that you understand the inflections that you need to have at certain points if you want to emphasize certain things in a particular in a presentation, because that's important. People will be engaged based off of your voice tone. You don't want to give a monotone speech. You don't want to give a presentation that just has it has no flavor to it. It has no it's just something that you did, and you're done with it now. You want it to be more than that. As a speaker, as a presenter, as an author, when you talk about certain subjects, when you're doing interviews, that's a part of presentation as well. So you want to make sure that when you're doing those things, you want to make sure that you've gone over stuff. I mean, doing interviews is having a presentation. That's part of being a speaker, part of being an author, being a business owner. There will come times where you have to actually talk about the information that you know. You're going to have to be able to present your business to people. So what are you doing when you have a presentation? What's your 30-second pitch? It's not just about having a physical PowerPoint presentation, but it's about how are you presenting your business, and your brand to any individual that you may encounter that you have to present your business to. How are you presenting yourself? And I hadn't even gotten into the way that you look, and presenting yourself well, being professional, being able to articulate who you are, what you do, and how you do it. That's part of the swag, having a swag presentation. What's that 30? Do you have a 30-second pitch? It's a known fact that people's attention span, you really only have 30 to 60 seconds to be able to catch people's attention. So what are you going to do in that 30 to 60 seconds if you're talking about your business? And that's why they call it an elevator pitch. But what are you doing in that 30 to 60 seconds in order to be able to present your business, and your brand, and in that short amount of time to catch people's attention? And then, even if you are a presenter, or if you are a panelist, if you are a speaker at an event, whether it's a conference, an expo, a summit, whatever it may be, what is it that you're saying that is going to make people pay attention to you? Because it's not just what you say, it's also how you say it and how you present it too. So that's an important factor in understanding how to swag out your presentation, because you want to present yourself, your brand in the most professional, articulate, and informing way. That way, when people talk to you, when people hear from you, they come away with a clear understanding of whether it's you talking about your business or whether it's you talking about a particular topic that you're covering, that you've been asked to speak on. You are, understand that you are the expert on you. You are the expert on your business. You are the expert on your brand. You are the expert on a specific, topic. Let's say it's customer service. Let's say you're talking about leadership. You're talking about any of those. Being a speaker is actually a presentation on that. You are an expert on how to start a business. You are an expert on how to write a book. You are an expert in these things. Well, you have to be able to, in order to be able to be considered an expert in doing those things, you have to be able to present it in such a way that people will see you as an expert and that you know what you're talking about. So, those are some things that that you should do, or that you should be focused on this week to understand how to swag out your presentation. So we've talked about swagging out your media kit, your media tools, how to swag out your press tools that you have, and then today we've talked about how to swag out your presentation tools. Think about those things. You want to make sure, just to go one more time, you want to make sure that your presentation is relatable, having people to be able to relate to what it is that you're either talking about, or that they can relate to your product, your services that you're presenting to them. The second thing is engaging. You want them to be engaged with you. The third thing is you want them to be actionable. You want them to take action after you've spoken to them about the topic, or whether you want them to take action about buying your products or services. you know, you want to do a run through. You want to make sure that if you're doing a presentation, PowerPoint presentation, or any kind of presentation like that, that you go over the information. Make sure that you have a strong grasp of what you're going to be talking about. Those things, and then the last thing is make it thorough. Make sure that you're thorough in the information that you're giving to people, so that they come away with a clear understanding of what you talked about, a clear understanding of where it is that they need to go next, and have a clear understanding of either have a clear understanding of you, your business, your brand. If you are talking about, you're talking about your business. If you're talking about your brand, you want people to know exactly who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So that's my tip for today. That's our swagged out week, day 3. Giving y'all your presentation swag and how you can swag out your presentation. If you do these things, I think you'll be successful in presenting your business, your brand, or the topics that you may be presenting to whoever your target audience is. So I want you to sit and write about those things, think about those things, what you need to do, take you to that next level. Y'all know what it is. It's 2020, fast and furious, move with purpose and passion. And as I always say, chase the impact, because when you chase the impact, you change the world. And you change the world with your presentations. But when you chase the impact, you change the world. Let's go change the world. I'll talk to y'all soon.